What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and sitting here going through Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I don't care what nobody says. It's Twitter. You know, I must be a masochist because I still look at Twitter at least once a day. Um, and I do respond to some things. Mainly it's political stuff. Sometimes it's gaming stuff. But for the most part, Twitter is just such a garbage place now. Like more so than it ever has been. That it's just like I don't try to engage in entertaining most of it, but I see a lot of stuff because they force you to see a lot of things now, whether you want to see it or not. Like Twitter just fucking slams the hell out of you with all the bullshit in the world, and it gets on my nerves. But at the same time, I can find some useful stuff or stuff that interests me on there, so I still pay somewhat attention to it. That being said, we're gonna speak on some garbage bullshit, at least for me, you know, that I'm seeing a lot. This whole quote unquote rap beef, or is it a rap beef? Because now it just seems like a music industry beef. Now that I apparently see Chris Brown has entered the stage and decided to go at, um, is it Quavo? I think it's Quavo he went at. I don't know. Like seriously, I'm not caught up on all of this because again, I try not to engage into the messiness. Social media loves messiness. I get it. I think I'm too old for that. I think I've matured beyond that to the point where the type of mess that I see on social media even offends me if I was still in my like young messy stage, which I've never truly been in. But you know what I mean. Like we've all at some point in our lives been about some of the bullshit, mainly in high school for me personally. But right now, nah, this ain't it. Like, and I don't truly get what's going on. So I need help, young people of the world. What is the whole situation? Like, the only thing I seem to kind of understand is how it started, where Kendrick Lamar came out, spit bars, basically saying like, "I'm the best." You know, fuck all y'all other motherfuckers. Like nobody is as good as me, which that I understand. That's been the core of rap. You know, what we traditionally call rap beef isn't necessarily like I hate you, you hate me. It's that I'm the best, and I'm gonna spit about how I'm the best, and tell you how you're not as good as me. And then somebody comes back like J. Cole did and tells you, nah, this is why you're not the best. This is why I'm better. This is why you can't fuck with me. Or I don't think that's what J. Cole necessarily did. I think he mainly like just well, he kind of did, just saying how like Kendrick's albums weren't as good as like they think he is, I believe. And then J. Cole apologized because he said like the shit doesn't sit well with his soul and all that. And I know y'all blasted him for that, but as I see the like aftermath of his apology, I feel like J. Cole might be right. And again, this is why I need details because I haven't listened to any of this. And I need to know like why y'all are so upset at J. Cole, especially at this point, because it just feels like J. Cole seemed to have seen where this was gonna go, and it's going to a very messy place in my mind where it ain't even about like what it started off of. It just it's turned into some going back to like I said, like the high school shit that we used to all sit there and get hyped over, seeing like girls fight or two dudes like get into it and scrap, you know, the gossiping, the he said she said stuff like that, and then the cattiness and the petty like stuff. Like I hear Drake did a song where he had AI verses from a couple of other rappers, throwing them into the mix, I guess, or I don't. I have no. Again, I have no clue what the fuck. like, which to me seems corny, but it also seems fitting because we are in the social media era, and as I've said plenty of times, social media is about the mess. Most people like the mess because the mess gets you engagement. It's like if I were back recording when the Cat Williams thing happened, I would have said the same thing. Because I remember after he did that, and people were like going back and forth and celebrating what he said and calling people out who would come back and be like, nah, what he said ain't true. And be like, oh, it must be true because you said something. He touched the nerves. Like, no. They have the right to say, like, yo, that's not right. It's not true. Yo, that don't, mean that it's necessarily true because they don't appreciate that. But again, social media is mess. You can't really respond. You know what I mean? Because if you respond to it, then people take it and frame it however they want it and throw it, however they want it, and it just becomes more of a mess. But doing all this, I remember there was an interview with Dion Cole. I think it was with Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith was asking him about it, and he was basically saying like what you've seen with him and Monique, that's just the tip of the iceberg. This thing's about to get wild and it's going to get messy. Whether this stuff is true or not is not going to matter. Just know that it's going to escalate and it's going to go off the rails. And we saw it did because you started seeing other comics coming out and talking about this is what this person did to me or this is how this person did. They stole this, they stole that. The industry did this to me. Like basically you started to get a repeat of the Cat Williams thing. And that's what I look at this as. Like once the mess part started with I think it was Rick Ross who started with the super messy response to Drake, was it? Now all we're seeing is like people going crazy. And again, the Chris Brown thing. I just read something where they said Chris Brown was talking about like people were saying they wish you would have got shot instead of Takeoff, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's uber fucking personal and wild for no reason. Why the fuck are y'all going to like? So this is why I'm like, can somebody explain to me, if possible, step by step, why all of this is going on? Why all of this is pertinent, why we should actually give a fuck about these motherfuckers going at each other like this, and why you think that this is a good representation of hip hop as a whole. Because again, me being the old man that I am, this ain't the type of hip hop shit. Like, yeah, dudes did get super personal, but I felt like they were more personal when talking about each other, engaging each other in person, rather than throwing all this stuff out like that. I don't know, and it may be just selective memory. I will totally say that, I may not remember it because back then when I was into it, I was into it. But now, like, at least the type of how it looks to me now, I can't get into this shit. And I just need someone to explain to me what makes this shit cool and why are we even here in the first place. Like, seriously, I really need to know why we're here. And, explain to me why I also am probably wrong to think that J. Cole is probably the smartest person in the room, with probably Kendrick being next, because I see people saying Kendrick needs to hurry up and respond, and Kendrick ain't saying something, which I don't blame him because why am I going to engage like this? This is not, at least to me, again, it doesn't seem this is why he put the song out that he put out. He wasn't trying to go this route with it. It just seems like he just wanted to be like, competitive. I don't know. Please let me know. Please explain to this old man all of this stuff. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll hit you later. This your boy Blak, Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.